Greetings once again, VAC fans. I have my late 1960s Kirby dual Sanitronic 80 up on the small section, the more economically sized section of my airflow box. So let's see what it does for airflow and suction. All right, 4803. And we are at 125.35, so you could say 125.4 CFM. Now, this is kind of an important measurement for many different reasons. It's going to be very boring, so maybe skip ahead to the suction test if you don't want to listen to this. So this airflow box is split in two halves. I've got a half here and a half there. The volume in this is much, much smaller than my cardboard airflow box. And of course, this is more than an airflow box. It can also do suction tests because it won't collapse when you try to actually seal the detection port right here. So with my cardboard box, I got 125.0. All right, so that's insignificant difference. 0.35 of a CFM, that doesn't really matter. And it's sealed in the same way that the other test was actually run. So some people may think somehow or have a prejudice that a box like this that seems to be more heavy duty, and it is for suction tests, that somehow would have dramatically different results for airflow tests that doesn't require anything nearly as heavy duty. So if you have something like cardboard and you seal it properly, just with packing tape, nothing special. I've built two cardboard ones that you've actually seen over the years. Now this is my first wood one, and guess what? I'm getting the same results. In addition to that, this volume is about 1/4 or more lower than my cardboard airflow box. So there's a particular person that I've actually seen on Vacuum Land that said that they didn't really want to believe cardboard airflow boxes because A, they seemed like they were ghetto, right? And I understand the cardboard ones don't look very good by any means, but that the volume somehow, well, it's too big, it's too small, the volume somehow is going to change the readings. Volume of the airflow box does not change anything. Also, the detection hole, or rather I should say the collection hole, that's really the detection hole. This is the collection hole up here on the top of the box. This is only 9.5 inches by 1 inch. Let's just have some round numbers here, about 10 square inches. On the other side of the box, on the bottom, back here, guess what? You have a detection hole of about 20 square inches. And some people may think, well, that's going to affect the measurements. It doesn't. Here's how the physics works. This is around, see, I told you this is going to be boring. So this is around 3 square inches. It's a little more than 3 square inches for the detection, or maybe I should call it the measurement hole. The collection point simply needs to be this size or preferably larger so it doesn't constrict or slow down the airflow. It won't affect suction at all, but it could definitely affect the airflow if this end up being smaller than this right here. Well, that's obviously not the case. So if this is a little over 3 square inches and this is around 10 square inches, we are dramatically bigger than what we're using to go in and put the detector on. So that's not actually going to affect the measurements either. So what can we conclude? We can conclude, so I can move on to the suction test, we can conclude that this probably a lot better, more well-made airflow box out of very thick wood and tons of glue should have, if the nozzles are sealed in the same way, and we'll have to visit that later on with other vacuums, you should get the exact same results, and I have, as with my much cheaper or worse or more ghetto cardboard airflow box. So here's additional proof that it doesn't really make any difference what you make it out of. It's what you decide to do with it. Now, cardboard can't do suction because it crushes. This right here can handle suction, no problem. And you've got some results. Actually, now, if you've gone and take a look at my first video of this that introduces this, you know what you see for the Kirby Avalier? You see right about 150 CFM. So there's now two measurements that what the box is constructed of, the materials, how well it was sealed, the other one was packing tape, and the volume of the box does not appreciably affect the airflow measurements at all. So now that's my rant, right? Now let me show you something else. This, if you've never seen this before, and by the way, the brush roll was spinning, so hopefully you can see that. This is a little airflow slash suction relief, and I'm going to turn it to wide open, so it literally intentionally leaks air. Now I'm going to do another airflow test and see what it drags down to. So remember, a little over 125, right? Let's see what it does now with this opened up. Yeah, so that was a rant I had to get out. So here we go. That ought to be good enough of a sample. So we got 4350 times the conversion factor, and we're at about 114 CFM. Now, you say, well, gee, that's not a whole lot of difference. 125, 114, you know, big deal, that hardly matters. But remember, this is also unloaded, meaning there's not carpet underneath that. So when you put carpet underneath that, say, 11 or so CFM difference will actually be quite a bit more when it's, frankly, on the carpet. But as far as bare floors go, you can subtract a little bit of airflow and suction by moving that little doodad over. Okay, so now I'm going to go and do suction tests. And I'm just going to warn you, these machines right here have very low suction. So as they say to the younger generation, trigger warning, trigger warning. This is going to have very low suction. It's got plenty of airflow for days, but the suction is not going to be high. So let me reorient the camera so you can see this gauge better. All right, with the suction relief valve open, let's see how low the suction can be. It'll be higher when I flip it closed. Okay, it's going to get loud, so turn your headphones down. All right, I saw a little bit more, a smidge more than 14, so 14, 15 inches of suction. Now, there, I closed it, so now we're as sealed as we can get in a 50-year-old machine. Now let's see what the suction reads. Okay, I saw 18 inches. Now, there are some people that think somehow that suction is the bee's knees. The suction is what you need to clean. And I've mentioned this, and I put it in a nifty little video about a year ago. Suction is not really a component of cleaning air. That is, dirt contained within a volume of air. Suction, otherwise known as, say, water lift, is good for picking up water, or if you have a suction cup, it could pick up, say, something heavy like wood. But if you want to pick up fine dust and debris within a volume of air, you need airflow. So it is well known that a Kirby D80 has plenty of airflow. It cleans so well, it can clean, right, this Mohawk carpet, it can clean underneath it. It can clean below it as well. And that comes from high airflow. So here's something with insanely low suction, and yet it cleans extremely well. So thanks for watching and listening to my ridiculously long rants, and stay tuned for more.